Hey, Natalia.
Hi.
Excited to be talking to you today.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I was looking a couple weeks ago, I was looking at all the student spotlights previously, and it's all dudes, and they're not, no one also in South America. So you're definitely representing for, yeah.
That's nice. I'm happy to be the first lady here and representing Brazil and South America as well. I think it will be a good conversation.
You have an interesting background. Maybe you can tell people about a little bit about you, who you are, and what you were up to before you discovered clay and all that.
As I mentioned, I'm from Brazil and I've been working in marketing for I think around 13 or 14 years, which is kind of crazy. I'm getting old. And I think my background is really like all over the places when it comes to industries and also types of companies as well because I've worked for like huge enterprises but also for small and like familiar companies and startups agencies now. So I started working at 3M here in Brazil, which is more like industrial products. I was doing this trainee program both in Six Sigma and marketing.
Mhm.
Then I went to Pearson, the education industry, and I spent like 4 years there. And I was doing different marketing roles from like branding to media performance and all. I've learned a lot there. And then after these 4 years, I decided to move to Australia to study English for 6 months. And I ended up living there for 3 years. It was a life there. And I think the coolest part for me is that I've done a bunch of different things in Australia. Like I've worked with like as cleaner in restaurants. I even studied cookery, like far away from marketing. But I was working for this company. It's a Brazilian company called Havaianas, but they say Havaianas in Australia,
Mm.
the flip-flops, like the sandals. And it was interesting because I was working in sales. It was my first experience with direct sales. And while I was like selling the flip-flops in the store,
You're
I was
selling directly to customers,
to
like in the
customers,
stores.
yeah, in a
Okay.
store. It was like an airport mall from Brisbane,
Mm.
and we had the Havaianas store there. So I was there like selling, and I couldn't stop thinking like, okay, I'm now seeing the bridge like between marketing and sales because I had experience with sales before, but now I was working with sales.
You're saying you had the marketing experience previously, and then you're seeing like
Yeah,
how it connects with. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
because I've never had worked with direct sales before, so
Mhm.
I mean, there's always this discussion around marketing and sales, the hands-off, and how marketing can help sales, and the other way around as well. So I think it was a good experience for me to see how it works, even selling flip-flops, but it was nice for me. I think it opened my mind. And when I came back to Brazil, it was when I got into the tech universe, I think. So the
Mm.
first place I worked was Run It, which is a project management platform. It's a Brazilian company. Then I joined Pipefy.
Mhm.
Pipefy is also Brazilian. They sell a lot like to US companies. It's also a workflow management space industry. And there, I think I really got into marketing automation, demand generation. I was working, it was my first time learning Marketo,
Okay.
and I was working a lot of with Salesforce as well. So it was like a deep dive in CRM. After that, I joined Arena. Arena is an engagement platform for that helps brands to build communities. And I was marketing ops. And recently, I was working at Vanilla, a fintech. Now I'm at Understory, an agency. So as you can see, I've worked for a lot of different industries, and that's why I said my background is all over the place.
Nice. Sounds like you've done a lot of fun things.
Yes.
Yeah. um, what made you get into the clay universe, and what led you to deciding to join Clay Bootcamp?
The first time I started using clay was at Vanilla.
Mhm.
My leader at the time, he asked me to. dive more and understand about clay because we had the tool in the company, but no one was using it.
Mm.
And I had literally never used it before. So, I mean, I think I heard about it before and or maybe like read some stuff, but I had zero like hand-on experience with the tool. And I am one of those people who likes like I like to understand almost everything about something before jumping in. I feel more safe doing this. So I spent like maybe 1 week or a week and a half trying to understand clay. And by that time, we didn't have like clay. I don't think we had like clay cohort or like all the information that we have now.
Mm.
So I was watching every YouTube video. I was reading their blog posts. I was following people on LinkedIn that would talk about clay. And I think during the research, I saw a post about clay bootcamp. But honestly, the first time I saw it, I didn't pay attention because
Mm.
I thought it was something made for agencies.
Mhm.
And I was working at a fintech, and I was like, okay, this is maybe not for me. But then a few, maybe weeks or maybe a month later, I saw Bara's post
Mm.
when he was mentioning about the numbers, like the meetings, how many more meetings he was getting after doing the boot camp.
Mm.
And I was like, it was amazing. It
You're saying
probably,
him talking about the meetings that he got for himself off of LinkedIn,
yes,
or
after the boot camp, yeah. It
I
was
see. Okay.
something like, oh, I had like 30 meetings before, and then it jumped to 150. I don't know. It's, these are not the real numbers, but it was like this jump. And I thought it was insane. But I think it was not just the numbers.
Mm.
I think it was also the way he talked about changing like his whole approach in his career. And that was because of Play Bootcamp. And then I think that made me curious enough to actually check out the website and book a call with you and him as well. So, and I mean, you remember the the investment was significant for me because of the like converting stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of curiosity, and I felt like this could change things for me, and it did.
Mhm.
But I think I remember in the first call with you and Bara, I think a few things convinced me. So I really wanted to master clay, but I was using the tool already. So I wanted more like to connect with people in the community, to learn from them with tips and everything. And also, the second thing, I think it was the opportunity in Brazil. As I mentioned, clay is not very well known here in Brazil as it is in the US for
Mhm.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I saw some opportunity there, and I also wanted to expand my network and like understand how things were happening in like the global market. Because even if I was working at the time for a US company, but I was always seeing like the LinkedIn posts like, oh, we have this new feature, we have a new tool, we have a new AI, we have, and I was like, I was watching from a distance. I was like, am I able to handle all this? But I was very curious to learn more about it. So yeah, and I think also silly but true. The last thing is that when you told me I would be the first Brazilian in the program, I was very excited. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And when you joined, what surprised you? Like, what jumped out at you the most?
Actually, when I got in, I was already expecting really good people, like the network. But for me, it was another level. I think it was like extraordinary. I even told Patricia once that I was getting this imposter syndrome when I joined
Mm.
because I thought everyone was so good and so smart. And I was like, will I be able to handle like all this? Because I don't know, the level of people that you have in the community is like it's another thing. So it was a really cool process for me to get to know everyone. I even mentioned in the Brazilian podcast that I did recently that the boot camp really was a turning point for me. The community engagement level. I participate in other like 5 or 6 Slack communities,
Mm.
and they don't have the engagement level that we have in the bootcamp Slack. So it's honestly incredible.
Awesome.
And I think I was also surprised by how international it is. I was
Mm.
expecting mostly US people, but I mean, we have folks from Europe, Canada, India, and now Brazil. So this diversity is also very cool.
Yeah, that's been a happy surprise for me as well. I didn't expect so much international interest as well, so that's been cool to see. When you met people in the boot camp, like how are you meeting them? Is it through like the general channel, or like how did that?
Through, I think, the general chat, the Slack channel.
Mm.
When I joined it, a few people reached out to me,
Oh,
like
okay.
to welcome me, and
Do you remember who? I'm just curious, actually.
I don't remember all of them. I mean, Bara for sure, Patricia. I forgot the name of another person. She's from Argentina, or she's living in Argentina. And she came to me, oh, another Latin American. Like, it was amazing. She was very welcoming. But I was also connecting to people. I joined our welcome channel, and I was like seeing all the LinkedIn, and like visiting everyone's profile and
Oh,
connecting.
nice.
And people were
Yeah.
reaching out through that. That's how I actually met Alex, my boss.
Oh,
uh,
okay. Wait, he
I
reached out to you, or you reached out to him through that
I
channel?
connected with him on LinkedIn
Okay.
through the bootcamp, and but I didn't message him. I was like, I just sent a connection, and he messaged me like, "Hi, nice to have you here." Like, and then the conversation started. So it was really cool. And also, I think another cool thing that happens a lot is that Patricia connects or connected, or she's still connecting me with a bunch of people. So she's like, she opens a conversation with me and another person, and she goes like, this person has marketing ops experience and she knows a lot about CRM. Maybe it would be good for you to connect
I love that.
and
Yeah.
talk about this subject. So that was another way that I got introduced to a bunch of new people. So that's nice as well.
Nice. Yeah, she's done a great job with that in the last few months. So what's one win that you're most proud of, or from your time with Clay or the bootcamp?
I would say my new job at Understory. I think this, well, that this wasn't actually my goal when I joined the bootcamp. I wasn't thinking on like switching jobs. I was happy where I was working, and I was learning a lot as well. And I was like in this paradox of, should I open my own agency or consultancy thing, or should I invest here in Brazil? Should I continue working for US folks? I was like trying to figure it out what I was going to do.
Hmm.
But then that happened. Like, I met Alex. We started talking through the boot camp. And I don't know if you remember, but I messaged you like, Alex from Understory is talking to me. Do you know him? And then you're like, yeah, he's amazing. And I was like, I didn't know him by the time. And when I started seeing all the content he shares and people talking about him, I was like, that's nice. Like, it's a good contact to have. And when then we had like all the interview process, and when he extended the offer, I kind of freaked out. I messaged you and you were like, let's jump in a call tomorrow to talk about it. Because I was nervous about it. Because my whole life I've been working in companies like corporate and working for an agency. I knew that I was going to learn a lot, learn different tools, and working for different industries at the same time with different projects. So that was exciting for me. And also, like, obviously, it's Understory, so it's mainly one of the best agencies that you can work for in the US. So yeah, but I was kind of freaking out. So I spent most of my time studying. After I accepted the offer, I spent most of my time like studying everything about my position. But then when I actually started, it was completely different for me. Like, everyone is so nice, welcoming, helpful. I was feeling like, okay, Natalia, you've worked for maybe 11 companies so far. Why are you freaking out of like joining a new? It's just a new company. But I knew, like deep down, I knew it was going to be a huge step for me in my career, and I would learn a lot. And that's happening. Like, it's really amazing. And I think like Definitely, the bootcamp gave me the foundation that I needed to feel confident to walk into a role like this. The community also taught me how like to engage professionally. Not that I didn't know how to do this because I am working for like 14 years now,
Mm.
but it's different. Like you have to engage with different cultures, you have to know how to share knowledge, you have to position yourself. And I have this self-confidence issue, but you pushing me to meet new people, Patricia pushing me, and I was meeting a bunch of new cool dudes. So I think it all prepared me for this.
Love it. Yeah. And Alex, I saw, I don't know if it was yesterday, he gave you this incredible shout out on LinkedIn. He said you're an A plus 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 player or something like that. That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, the entire team is amazing, like Nafal, Ali, Alex, Anna, Chris, everyone. But I think Alex knows how to engage with people, and he makes a lot of good content and people rely on him. So yeah, when I saw the post with my face, I was like, oh my gosh, no.
Oh, he didn't tell you ahead of time he was gonna post.
No. And we have an integration in Slack that
Mm.
shows when like someone from like the internal team shares something on LinkedIn, and I saw my face on Slack and I was like, "Oh my God, what did Alex did?" And then I opened the link and I was, I don't believe that. I was very happy. That was really, really cool. So yeah, he's a great boss.
You're gonna, if you keep at it, you're gonna be pretty famous soon because, like, you did the podcast with what's the Brazilian,
Products guru. Yeah, in Brazil here.
and you were saying you got a lot of people reaching out to you from that.
Yeah, so this podcast it's pretty famous here in Brazil. Like I
Mm.
think he has a network of maybe 10K Brazilians that work in the area. And he posted on Monday about the podcast. And I woke up the next day. I was with a bunch of projects working. I wasn't checking LinkedIn that often. And I woke up the next day and I saw like 45 notifications and I was, Jesus Christ, what is happening? Did I do something wrong or? And then I saw his post, and like I think from the day he posted to now, I've already connected with more than 100 Brazilians.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's really cool because one of the things that I wanted to try when I joined the bootcamp was this, like I wanted to talk more about GTM and clay in Brazil,
Mm.
but it was really hard for me because most of my network was outside Brazil in LinkedIn. So we were talking about I was trying to post in Portuguese, but I didn't have much engagement, and then I was trying English, so it was this thing. But I guess now I can start doing posts in Portuguese again because I now
At
have
least
a bunch
100
of
people.
Brazilians.
Yeah. You started weaving in like Brazilian concepts into your posts. At least one. I remember you said you talked about the idea of you should always eat your rice and beans first, meaning do the basics. I guess do the basics right, and then
Yeah, that was one idea because I think maybe that's something that I like to talk a lot about, like basics first and how to organize your CRM and everything. But a lot of people talk about this as well in different ways. And I am not,
mm,
I'm here recording with you and I did the podcast, but I don't like showing like my face in videos. So like sharing, I think it's really cool when people share some videos showing the workflow they build. And then there's this
mm,
like their face and they're talking, they're engaging. But I'm not able to do that. So I was like, how can I engage with my audience? Because I think it would be a cool thing to learn people from outside Brazil, something related to Brazil, and I could also engage with Brazilians this way. So I came up with the idea of rice and beans, which is exactly what you told.
mm.
And it was nice. I mean, people really like it, I think, but I think I had more engagement from people like outside Brazil. Still, like they were like, "Oh, that's nice. It was amazing for them." Maybe because they didn't know about the
I think so. Yeah.
rice and beans, but it was cool. It was a cool try.
Yeah, it's like bringing the exotic to the, or like different. I think you should do more videos. Like we're gonna do a video for this course together, hopefully, where you're gonna show. Anyways, I've always been super impressed with how prepared you are for everything. So I think, yeah, I think, anyways, yeah, I want you to show your knowledge and thinking off more often.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm feeling more prepared now. I mean, I don't have a choice. My face is already on LinkedIn, so I don't have a choice.
Let's see. What's kind of the opposite of a win? Like, what's one challenge you faced and overcame?
I think maybe my answer is gonna sound a little bit different from the other interviews.
Hmm.
I have a little thing with my self-confidence. As we were talking, I was just talking about video now.
Hmm.
And I guess my biggest gap was actually this. I mean, I would say self-confidence and professional visibility. I had a massive, as I mentioned, I had a massive imposter syndrome when I joined. I would type LinkedIn posts for hours. I would literally spend like 2 hours typing like the copy that I wanted to share for only one post.
Uh-huh.
And then I would delete before posting it because I was
Hmm.
thinking like I shared this with you in the beginning in our sessions. I was thinking like this is too basic, like it's not complete. I'm not offering anything like amazing in my content. And I was really stuck with the perfectionism trap.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's for sure. The bootcamp helped me reframe how I thought about my expertise, showing me that my perspective was actually valuable. I was comparing myself with play veterans or like agency founders, and I was like, I'm not able to do this. But I think the real breakthrough for me was seeing everyone trying to give their best in the community, sharing knowledge, asking questions, like sharing struggles and wins. And I mean, I've been in the industry for 14 years. I
Hmm.
think I have something to share too. I just needed to try. And that's how I think that's another interesting point because by sharing on LinkedIn, that's also how Alex reached out to me. He
Oh, he
saw,
found you through your posts.
yeah,
Is it you added him and then he saw your, like, you kind of nurtured him through posts
yeah,
unintentionally?
yeah,
Okay.
because he was engaging with my content.
Okay.
Like
Uh,
I added him, we started talking, but he's too busy. So then, like he would send me a message, and then I would reply, and we would stay 1 week without talking. But he was engaging with my content.
hmm.
Like
Hmm.
whenever I posted something, he was liking, he was commenting, and I was thinking like, no, okay, I'm gonna keep posting in English, in Portuguese, doesn't matter, no one is watching it. But it turns out that people are watching
Hmm.
it. So yeah, definitely like the self-confidence and the professional visibility was something that I was able to work a little bit. Still work in progress, but bootcamp helped me a lot.
Amazing. I'm glad you're, yeah. And I hope you keep on. Have you been posting after joining, since joining Understory as well?
I hmm. Kind of. I mean, I think the first 2 weeks after I joined it on the story I was like, it was tough for me. It was really crazy. I was trying to learn as much as I could, and I didn't have time to make any posts, but I did post one about the mapping, the workflows in Miro.
I engaged with that one. That's what led to our collaboration on the content. So, anyways, yeah.
And like a lot of people engaged with this one. I don't know what happened, but anyways, it was an idea that came, and I think it was my first post after Understory, and then I posted about the podcast. But yeah, that's something I need to work a bit more. But now that I have more like things to share, more projects, that's something I'll work for from now on for sure.
Nice. And I guess kind of wrapping things up. This has been fun. Any shout outs you'd like to give to the community or people who've helped you along the way?
Yes, I have a few people that I want to mention. I think first one, you. because I mean, you've been my professional therapist in the boot camp. When I mean, again, when I got the offer and I was panicking, you immediately jump in to help me and to help me understand everything. And all the support you gave to the community is incredible. Then Patricia, I think I've never met someone so helpful as Patricia is. She's always checking on me. She's sending me messages. She saw Alex post and then she sent me a Slack message like saying, "Congrats, I saw the
Oh
post."
wow, so cool. Mm.
She's amazing, and she's always ready to help with anything. So then, Bara for sure. I mean, from day one, he was answering my Slack questions. I think he was like, "Oh, this girl again asking me about Upwork."
I don't think so. I don't think he was thinking that, but
But he was always like answering my questions and sending materials, sharing tips. So he gave me some Upwork advices and he got me some projects. I couldn't take them by the time,
mm,
but it was really amazing. And then Anna is she's my new coach for NAN. And I mean, she became my go-to person for automation questions. She's super smart and she explained things so clearly. She's amazing. The entire community made me feel welcome from day one. Everyone reached out and I felt supported like from the beginning. So I think it's rare to find that level of engagement in professional communities.
I'm glad it's been so helpful, and I hope it'll continue to be. And I imagine you'll continue to be active in the community. I hope you are. You're going to have a wealth of knowledge, and do obviously already definitely do like a wealth of knowledge to bring back in as well and help people. And so for people who are watching this and are thinking of getting started in GTM engineering, or starting either like starting a career or maybe starting a business or anything, like what advice would you give them?
I think I would give maybe one big advice, which is building real connections. I think, as I mentioned, like at the beginning, I was struggling to understand if I should, like the LinkedIn tasks, should I post in Portuguese? Should I post in English? And I thought no one was paying attention to my
Mm,
content anyway. And turns out people are seeing it. So, I mean, all the networking tips you guys give in the program, like how to build content for LinkedIn, how to send thoughtful DMs, how to build relationships. They actually work. And I haven't done all of them. I'm telling this now. I know. But I mean, what I've done, I mean, you can see the change. It's really amazing. So don't underestimate connecting with good people who want to help because those relationships, they open opportunities, referrals, learning experiences, and I think you can't get that in any other way. And also, I would say also don't wait until you feel ready to start engaging because I think I've waited too long to like participate fully because I didn't think I knew enough. But the community values that. Like they value questions, they value you share your issues, your blockers, and fresh perspectives just as much as experts that are sharing their insights, new tools, new features. And I mean, look at the success cases that I have. I have two very close ones that I can mention, you and Alex. I think what you both do very well, besides all the professional knowledge that you guys have, is really connect with people. So, yeah, I mean, you can have all the technical knowledge in the world, but if you don't know how to deal and connect with people, I don't think you get very far.
I love that. That's a great one. It's a great one. Yeah. And it's hard to see, at least for a lot of people, hard to see the value of connecting until you experience, like, it's hard to believe it until you experience it for yourself. How long would you say it took for you to notice the effects of being active, networking wise?
I think for me, it took maybe because I was a slow one also, but I think it took me like 2 to 3 months, I think.
Mm,
Because when I joined and I wanted to share, I wanted to participate, but I had this blocker.
mm,
And when I started seeing the results of like connecting with people and sharing, you connected me with agency owners, and I started talking to them. Then I mean, I talked to Spencer. I talked to many people who are well known in the industry, and I was like, yeah, I mean, they value my perspective, even being like new in the workspace, like new because I have experience in marketing, but I wasn't very into the tech universe before. So yeah, I mean, I would say 2 months at least if you're really into the weeds.
Awesome. Well, this has been great. Any closing thoughts before we go?
I just want to thank you, everyone. Thank you and everyone for the support in the boot camp. All the knowledge shared, all the meetings. I wasn't able to be in all of them. The office work, some of them I missed, but I wish I could be. And I used to say, I say this to my husband, like if I could get every Brazilian that connects with me asking about clay, asking about the boot camp, because I do have a lot of people reaching out about this. I would say just like I would enroll them in the boot camp instead, because I would build an automation to automatically enroll them into the play boot camp because it's really amazing. Like it is an experience that changes. I wasn't very, at the beginning, I wasn't very, not that I was not believing, but I had a conversation with Bara when we shared the same thought. He was like struggling to balance everything, and he was like, "When things are will like start to work for me," and then all of a sudden, like you think you haven't done too much, but by sharing your perspective, by putting your face, by connecting with others, things start to happen. So, just want to thank everyone that I connected, and feel free to reach out as well to send me messages. I'm here for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natalia. And I'm going to ask Alex if you can also be a salesperson for Clay Boot Camp in Brazil. Just joking, but yeah.
I can do that. Count on me.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Natalia.